Hi guys, welcome back to Ruemorg TV. I am Ruemorg Executive Editor Andrea Subasati, and issue 203 is on stands now. The November-December issue of the magazine is available, and we've got Jack Frost on the cover as it hits Blu-ray this winter. I've got an interview with director Michael Cooney as the cover story, and we've also got features on American Guinea Pig, horror from Newfoundland, and much, much more. So check that out. I'll link it in the description below. Enjoy this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sympathy for the Sequel. I'm Alex West, contributor to RUE MORGUE magazine and co-host of the Faculty of Horror podcast. Today, we have an incredible episode for you. I can't believe I'm getting paid to talk about this film. We are talking about Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers from 1995. In Sympathy for the Sequel, what we do is we take a look at a major horror franchise and find the lowest rated entry in said franchise and give it another look, see why it's maybe so low rated, what happened to it in production, and we try to find some good stuff in the film. And I mean, frankly, for me, Halloween is my favorite horror franchise, and this film, The Curse of Michael Myers, is probably my favorite entry. And, it's not the best, but it is my favorite. So let's start with what the critics had to say when this came out. Derek Adams of Time Out says, "Slicker than crude oil and just as unattractive." Matthew Lucas from The Front Row says, "Just too strange, too outlandish, and too convoluted to be frightening, serving as a constant reminder of just how far away we are from the world created by John Carpenter." Let's just set the scene a little bit for The Curse of Michael Myers. It's been 6 years since Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers came out, and the Man in Black frees Michael from the prison cell, and we don't know what happens to him or his niece Jamie at the end of the film. Thankfully for us, we have this film, which is written by Halloween superfan, up-and-coming screenwriter Daniel Farrands and directed by Joe Chappelle. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers picks up with Jamie giving birth in a weird cult-like scenario. Who knows? The movie doesn't, nor does it really care. And that's why it's great. Michael kind of appears and Jamie's on the run with her baby after a kindly nurse lets her get away, and Jamie dumps the baby in a bus depot. Michael kills Jamie after he catches up with her. And then it's up to Tommy Doyle, now played by one Paul Stephen Rudd, Dr. Loomis in Donald Pleasant's last film role, and Kara Strode, a distant relative kind of the Strode family who also now live in the Myers house, to figure out A, what to do with this baby, B, what to do with Kara's son Danny, who seems to have killer inclinations a la young Michael, and C, figure out what the fuck is going on with this cult and who is after them, and is the Man in Black in this, and oh, I don't know. It's a mess, and this mess comes from a few different factors. Now, I have to bring back in, some familiar faces to this series, which are the Weinstein brothers. In the 6 years since Halloween 5, the rights to the Halloween films had transferred over to Dimension Films, a subsidiary of Miramax. And like any film, whether it was The English Patient or Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the Weinsteins wanted to cut and put their fingerprints all over these films. So the Weinsteins had a lot of opinions, but the filmmakers themselves and the producers on set and the screenwriter and director had a lot of opinions themselves. So often what you see in this film is those two needs and wants clashing with each other. Now, the big fork in the road for this film happened after a test screening. The film was screened and the audience hated it. So that led the Weinsteins to go, you know what? Fuck this shit. We need to reshoot a ton of stuff within the film and completely reshoot the ending. not worrying too much that the fact that Donald Pleasance had died during this period. So there's a lot of this that doesn't make any sense. And what happened with this fork in the road eventually decades later is now we have the theatrical cut, which we're talking about today, and then you have the producer's cut, which is, I think, kind of equally as messy and silly, but a bit more fully formed. So if you want to see that, it's out there, you can find it. I know you're probably saying to yourself, like, Alex, do you really love this movie? Do you? Are you just like some kind of weekend warrior Halloween 6 Curse of Michael Myers fan? Well, I have props. First up, DVD. This is such a bullshit release. Like, I got this to screen it at a bar and I just kept it. Like, this has endured purges and moves, and I just love this because where else can you find this like basic ass DVD that has such incredible special features as French language track, Spanish subtitles? I could go out and buy the Halloween Blu-ray box set, but Spanish subtitles. I have a Halloween Curse of Michael Myers fleece blanket. This lives on my couch year round. I fucking love this thing. I love it. And like, I got this years ago. I special ordered it from the Spirit Halloween website. Also, do you know that Spirit Halloween has a website? Thank you. I think it was 3 years ago for Halloween, I went as a Cult of Thorn member because I was lazy and didn't have a great idea. So, you just draw the little boat on your wrist and done. Halloween costume. Boom. Great. You know the Marie Kondo meme where she's like, I love mess? That's basically my whole thing for this film. Now, Halloween 1978 is a classic slasher. It is still scary. It is still effective. It is still amazing. And I don't know if you can ever truly replicate that. And if I can't get like a beautiful, creepy, austere slasher, I want a big, stupid mess of one. And this is exactly what we get. So I'm going to list off some of the beautiful, messy things that I think we should all embrace in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Firstly, Paul Stephen Rudd. He shot this film the same year as Clueless. And he is so good and charming and like sexy in Clueless. And then he's this in Halloween 6. Like, the choices this man makes in this film, and then you have to kind of reconcile that with the fact that he's an A-list actor now, is incredible. Like, just take, for instance, the scene where Tommy is trying to get Kara out of the cell and he encounters Michael Myers for the first time.
Tommy?
And then you have Donald Pleasance. Teen heartthrob Donald Pleasance in his final role. I mean, no one does Loomis like this. I don't care whether it's Malcolm McDowell or practical effects. You need real Donald Pleasance to make this film happen. And he wasn't well during the filming of this, but he is still giving it his all and is completely unhinged and seemingly wandering in and out of scenes, just, being like, Michael is evil. And you are like, yes, he is. Thank you for saying that again.
I thought Michael was a monster, but you...
And also, this film is from 1995 when we couldn't Google how to pronounce things because, people are running around this film saying fucking Sam Hain instead of Samhain.
To offer the blood sacrifices of its next of kin on the night of Samhain.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful that that's in the film. Did you ever think you would see Michael Myers A, filled with goo, and then B, have the goo beaten out of him like he's a jelly donut? This film has that. At the end, you have this weird, winding, chasing, and the reveal of Dr. Wynn, the character from the first film, being behind the cult of Thorn and trying to get Loomis to join. And then you see like the other people who work in the hospital are also part of the cult of Thorn, as well as a few other characters that we meet along the way. And it just really makes me wonder about like what kind of HR structure they have at Smith's Grove Sanitarium. Like, is this an optional thing? Are we kind of, doing this on the side? Or is this a really big part of the whole infrastructure of Smith's Grove? Is this an MLM cult? We don't know, and I love it. So this film has a really complicated understanding of what the cult of Thorn is and who or what it does. So we've actually got a really special guest here today. And we're so lucky to have him because it's October when we're filming this and he's super busy right now. But Michael Myers, everyone. So we've got Michael here today, and we're just gonna test out this little theory. So like basically what I see from the film is that if I draw a little this on my wrist. Oh, are you in my control now? Michael, can you just go get me my coffee?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Actually, can you just warm this up a little bit? Thank you. Do you want to move a little faster? Anyway, hot tip, that totally works. So, mess of this film aside, I think one of the things I truly love about it, like legitimately, unironically love about this film, is the fact that it goes in such a different direction. Yes, there are a few callbacks to the original film, but it's not indebted to them. It's not on this cycle of just hearkening back to the 1978 version. This goes in a really different direction. This even goes in a really different direction for your basic slasher. And even though it's a mess, even though it doesn't make sense, it's actually just exhilarating to watch this mythology be expanded and explored in a new way. So for as tropey and iconic as so many slashers are, I appreciate this one simply for just doing something different. So it actually feels, in my opinion, quite a bit fresher than a lot of the newer Halloween films. So that's it. That is Sympathy for the Sequel on Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment below letting us know what franchise you'd like us to tackle next. And until next time, see you in the sequel. This is so weird. This is too weird. I don't know, Dustin, like fixing your Michael Myers hair is like...
Get a little bit more behind.
I've never seen Dustin groom you before.